All right, everyone, welcome in. Let's go ahead and get this kicked off and started. Will Palashik, let's start with you.
Afternoon, Christian. How are you?
Good afternoon, Will. I'm fine, thank you. You?
I'm well. In terms of the injury report this week, looks like only one new name on it, with it being Ben. What can you tell us about Ben? I know he went down in the game last Wednesday.
Yeah, we are monitoring Ben's situation because we know that there is something going on with his knee, and the medical department is talking to Ben, and they are looking at evaluating what is the real entity of this injury, and we should know something as soon as possible once he will do all the tests that they need to be done. So it could be something between couple of weeks or maybe more. We will see. We don't know anything yet for sure. I'm waiting as well to hear from the medical department.
In terms of this weekend, do you kind of look at the Saturday result against Cincinnati as kind of an outlier? Because I know that your form had been pretty consistent up until that point, and obviously I know you were disappointed in the way that you guys looked on last Saturday.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I thought that the boys were keeping a certain consistency in the performance in terms of playing football and to play with the right intensity. I thought we were a little bit disaligned. We didn't play well in the last third, as I said. And in transition, unfortunately, we were exposed. There were some good plays from the front players from Cincinnati, but I think we helped them also in this moment. So we didn't play very well in both boxes, and as you know, in football that's very important. And there was an element of being tired, but I don't want to use an excuse. The boys don't want to use an excuse, and actually, I want to take this opportunity also to thank all the supporters. And it's not something that has been prepared by the marketing department to say that. I honestly believe that the supporters, they showed a lot of support to the boys, which is always something that I ask. It's not so important they support the coach, it's important they support the players and the team. And I want personally to thank for the turnout, and I show that we want to do this for the supporters. We want to go out and to give a good account of ourselves in the last 5 games, fighting mainly for the love that supporters show. And they're shown in this moment that it wasn't the easiest after the game, but they show a lot of support, and we really appreciate that.
It seemed that your attack against Cincinnati was confined to the wings and wasn't as much through the middle. How much is having Enzo and Carroll kind of on the field together? Are you able to kind of rework or recalibrate how you go through the midfield in terms of making sure that your attack is more diverse?
The structure that we have in the play, the organization, it doesn't change. What changes is the characteristics of the players, and I made it very clear that for us, Enzo and Carol are very important players, but also I need to take into consideration what the game show me, because at the center, at the heart of my thoughts is always the team. So I need to see that the team does well. I need to see that the team play the best football that we can and the most effective football that we can. I thought that we didn't play centrally, not because it was planned or it was because we didn't want to, is how once you are in the position, you find those solutions. And it was easier for us to go around the opposition, which is fine. But I also thought that there were chances for us to play more in the middle, but the characteristics of the players obviously are important, and it's something that we need to take into consideration. Withstanding that Carol and Enzo for us are important players, there's no getting away with it. Like for me, every player that is here is very important, not just these two, but especially these two.
Lastly, for me, and this might seem a little out of left field, but I'm only curious just because we've seen him at training and obviously Crown Legacy is on the embarking of the playoffs. But what have you noticed of Chichiro Odunze as he's come into the reserve team? I know you've spent some time seeing him on the first team as well. What have been your initial impressions of seeing him not just in training but also in matches for Crown Legacy?
You mean our goalie, because we call him
Yes.
Big C? No, he's a guy that needs game time. He's young, has many physical attributes that can be very important, but there are also many things that he needs to improve in building from the back and to be composed when in possession. And I think that our job here is to make sure that the players get an opportunity, but also that they get a good education, that they can stay as long as possible in the game, not just be meteors, just rising star that they don't last. So with him, it's good to have this. It's good to have this enthusiasm, but it's also good to understand that there is a long way to go in terms of developing his game and knowing that the MLS Next Pro is great, but the level is very, very different from MLS.
Thank you, Christian. Good luck in Foxborough.
Thank you, Will.
Carol Walton.
Hey, Christian, how are you?
Hey, Carol, I'm fine. You?
I am good. I'm trying to read between the lines with what you're saying on Capetti and Swiderski. Is it up for grabs whether you want to play them together, or is that still
everything and every position is always up for grabs, because what is the real test? The real acid test is the pitch and how we perform onto the pitch. We can talk as much as we like, but then after is the pitch that will talk loud. And I believe that every player is important here. And I know it sounds like rhetoric, but it's not. It's just the state of things. And players that they have been out of the squad can become very important, and vice versa, depending on how they perform, depending on how they train, depending on many things, how the team is playing with certain players and certain players combined. And so everything is up for grabs. I think is important is there has to be certain rules. And for me, the rule number one is that, you have to give your best on every training session. You have to give your best in every game. And then, this is true for everybody. I don't think that there are any position that, it doesn't matter how you perform and then you will play anyhow. At least we are not, we don't have, I really don't like that. And I think that every player has to give his best in every training session, in every game. And then after, even if you do your best, it doesn't mean that maybe somebody else can give different characteristics that in that moment the team needs. So I'm not pointing fingers on anybody at all. And that doesn't mean there is a lack of confidence in anybody, not at all. It's just that I need to take into consideration what gives our team the best platform to express our football.
Okay. And looking at these, Saturday night going forward, wins are crucial. So yeah. Do you feel like the way you guys play is aggressive enough, or do you feel like we might see a little bit of a different, style, or how you handle subs, that kind of thing?
I think we know, Caro, that we need to win the games, and but to give ourselves the best chance to win games has to come from playing good football. So to play aggressive, I thought that the way we were disposed onto the pitch, we were quite aggressive in terms of what we wanted to do. Maybe not as quite as individual battles. I don't think we won our fair share of duels. The opposition won the most, even though we had the ball the most. And I think it's something that we need to improve in general. But But I thought that the goals that we conceded were one set piece and two situations in which we were very aggressive with the pressing. The first one was maybe an ingenuity from Andrew that, unfortunately, as a young player, I thought he has done really well. He made a mistake in this crucial moment, and also we didn't handle well the third one, even though Acosta scored a great goal. But I thought that we should have handled. We had a conversation with the defenders. They know in this situation that we should defend differently to take the depth better and not to expose ourselves in the way we did. And then after, we have to give credit to Acosta to score a great goal, but I have to say that we helped it. And again, it was a situation in which we were with many players in the opposition box, so we were quite aggressive, and all the situation came more from counter-attack, that they are, in my opinion, much more preventable. And when is our turn to be in the opposition half, in the opposition third, not the opposition half, or in the opposition last third, we should play with more aggressiveness, not just aggressive without the ball, but also with the ball.
Okay. And last for me, when you brought up the fans, were you thinking about the fans that made it to Cincinnati? Were you thinking about the event midweek this week? You know, were you just thinking in general? What was on your mind?
Sorry, would you say it again?
When you were thanking the fans for their support? No,
for the event that it was done in the midweek, that they turned up, you know, and I thought it was very good from them. We need them. We need their support. We will give our best in every game, and we want to have them on our side because for us they are very important. And so I think that a joint effort together could bring us where we want to go or where we want to be.
Okay. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol.
All right, Max Larten.
Thanks very much. Good afternoon, Christian. Good to see you, sir.
Mike.
Carol you talked about the goals that were conceded against Cincinnati. Wednesday, Andrew mentioned that or was asked about New England's size, which apparently they're a bigger club, and that makes defending set pieces, corners, that much more critical. Is that something that you can do extra with in training and in getting ready for Saturday?
We always work on set pieces. We always work on set pieces.
No, I meant in dealing with a team that might be a little bit bigger, a little bit taller in the box. I know you work on it. I mean, is that something that you have more focus on based on the opponent and how they are how their roster's built?
I mean, I don't understand, Mike. Maybe, and I'm not saying that you're not clear. I understand the way I understand is we always prepare. Because I don't think there's only New England, but also Cincinnati, also Philadelphia. There are teams that they are extremely good on set pieces. So and the set pieces that we conceded is actually against Cincinnati was a free kick, was a magic free kick that he put it on the top corner. That one, there's not so much you can work on. But if you are, I don't know, talking about or thinking about that we have to change players given the size of them, I think it is a certain consideration that we need to have, but at the same time, I still want the team to play. And although set pieces are an important part of the game, there are many things that I have to take into consideration, you know, also how we balance the team in the best possible way. But of course, set pieces are always very, very important. They are a crucial part of the way we play. If anything, I think that we have many, many set pieces in games. We have more corners normally than the opposition, more in the attacking free kicks. I believe that we should play strongly and more strong those moments as well, because as we know, they are a vital part of the game, and we train on that. Then after, it's for the players to make it count when we have them.
I may have asked that incorrectly. How do you negate a bigger team? How do you negate that advantage that they might have where they're able to play a little bit higher than your players?
Mike, the one thing there are different things. One, try to give less corners, less free kicks away by not diving in a stupid way into tackles, or not to be overplayed so that we leave the opposition the ball so that they can have a lot of possession in our third, and so from there, creating many chances to get crosses or corners or attacking free kicks. On the other way is to play bigger players, taller players, but I think despite that is a consideration, we also need to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance to play the team that is going to be more balanced on the pitch.
Kind of going off of Carol's question about aggressive, you guys play, in my opinion, fairly aggressive as it is. But the overall overarching attitude of the team going in, I mean, knowing the situation with so many games to play, so many points you need to make the playoffs, you basically have nothing to lose at this point. You want to get the 3 points every night you go out. Does this kind of help you guys maybe play a little bit more freely and not be perhaps as tense in the final third and be able to play a little bit more relaxed?
I think no, you're right. I think that listen, we had a frank conversation with the boys, and we have to live with the pressure that we need to play. Going in every game, we are going to win the game. We have to be prepared that we go to Boston with the idea that we want to go out and win the game. We want to win the game because we want to go to the playoff. We want to give our supporters, to make them proud and to believe that on Wednesday is going to be another important game, and we want to have many supporters cheering up the team and giving us even more support. So to play with the idea that you have to win the game in a certain way could, I don't know if it makes you more relaxed, but you made me smile, because if you are tense in the last third, when you have the ball against the opposition, you should be tense if you are defending every time in your last third. And so when you are in the last third of the opposition and you are attacking, you should be, I'm not saying relaxed, but you should be enjoying your football. And this is what I want to see. I want to see a team that play really strongly in the last third with intensity, not with tension.
All right, last one for me, Christian. You want to go to the movies?
Always, because it's a good distraction, and Carol she's waiting for that.
All right. That being said, for those of us that don't know, what is the greatest difference between theaters in Italy and theaters in the United States?
I think that the biggest difference is that here everything tend to be bigger, tend to be more, to use one word, And so one thing that I used to enjoy with the family, even when we were in New York, is to have those theaters in which you can even have, you can have your big chairs, and then you can almost turn them into like a bed. So there is this kind of experience, and I think in Italy they are catching up with that, at least in the biggest city, that they follow more this model of making the experience as comfortable as possible. What I noticed that I've not been going a lot in the theaters lately, but there seems to be quite empty. At least when I went, there seems to be not a lot of people going. But yeah, the difference is that here everything seems to be a little bit more, a little bit bigger.
Need to get out more, and they have those in Charlotte. They have those big chairs and
recliners. I've been, and
yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. I did that. And the one I was talking about, the fact that I found them empty, and maybe it's post-pandemic, it was here rather than New York. New York, actually, when I used to go, there seems to be more people. Yeah.
Thank you, Christian. Good luck.
More, you are right.
Thank you, Christian. Good luck this week.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, everyone. See you post-game tomorrow.
Bye-bye.